Hey everyone, Darktoylord here. Thank you very much for tuning in. Today we're taking a look at this Mass Effect Andromeda Scott Ryder action figure by McFarlane Toys. Okay, so as usual, we're going to take a look at the packaging first. Here we have a nice clear window in the front so we can see the figure inside. You get a helmet accessory, his weapon, and the display stand. Spinning around to the back, we have a picture of the figure holding his weapon on the display stand. A close-up here with the figure with the helmet on, and it's a new figure. You can buy more at McFarlane.com. I certainly hope that there's going to be more Mass Effect figures available. I haven't heard anything, but I hope so, because I definitely think the world would be a better place with more Mass Effect. Alright, so let's go ahead and open this guy up. We'll get him out of the package, take a closer look at the articulation, paint job, details, things of that nature. And here's my favorite part of opening up toys. These GD twist ties. So inside the packaging, here we have the display stand. Here is the blaster. Scott's helmet. And here is Scott Ryder. So I kind of purchased this figure sight unseen, if you will. I didn't hear a lot about it before it came out. It's like, I love Mass Effect, so I saw a Mass Effect toy. I'm like, yes, I need to get this. So I didn't have high expectations because it is a McFarlane toy, and typically, you know, their figures are just like statues. There's not a lot of articulation, with very few exceptions. So, like I said, I did not have high expectations, but surprisingly, this is an extremely articulated action figure. So that being said, let's go ahead and take a look at that articulation. Up here on his head, he can move his head side to side. It looks like he's got a little bit of up and down movement in here too, but it is kind of tough. It's articulated, but it seems like it's restricted. The shoulders can spin around, they go up and down. And that's both shoulders, and then the elbows. You can actually get a nice range. So they go up and down on that hinge, plus they can swivel around. And then his wrist, of course, will spin too. You have a joint here in the torso, so you can spin his upper body around, and you can actually like do ab crunches too. Nothing here in the waist though, so the only pivot of the upper body is going to be done with that torso joint. There's articulation in his hips, so the legs can go up and down or swing outward. Not as much as, so he's not a super articulated figure, because I think the sculpt of the armor does restrict his movement. But I definitely appreciate that McFarlane put the effort in to try to give this guy articulation, even though it is limited. Down here at the knee, 90-degree bend almost. And you can also swivel the knees too. And then down here at the ankles, they do have some movement. It's not like ratchet or anything, but it does. There is a little bit of movement there, so it might help with more dynamic poses. Alright, so here's a close-up of Scott's head sculpt, and being that this is a McFarlane toy, yeah, I knew the sculpt was going to be great, and he did not disappoint. A lot of detail work went into this, his head sculpt plus the armor. Paint applications are just beautiful. I was worried, since it's a McFarlane toy, that the joints would have paint lock, because I've seen that many times over the years. But no, everything moves properly. So it's definitely nice to see. Okay, one thing to know about the helmet, it's not a helmet per se, it's an alternate head. So you need to hit this head off and put this one on. There you go. So the head sculpt for the helmet, again, a lot of detail, very well done. The one thing that I don't necessarily care for, I don't know, I just kind of feel like maybe so much of his neck should not be visible. On this side, not so much so a problem, but this side, there's a lot of flesh there, and I just kind of feel like it stands out a bit too much. So you can see there's a peg there on the display stand, and there's a hole in Scott Ryder's foot, so it'll plug in right there. So when I play Mass Effect, I always create a custom character, so what I'll probably end up doing is just keeping him displayed like this with the helmet on, and I can kind of just pretend that it's my character inside that suit of armor. If I really want to be morbid, I can keep him displayed like this with a decapitated Scott Ryder. But I don't want to. I have a 2-year-old running around the house. I don't want to freak him out with the with such a nasty looking pose. Anyway, so there you have it. Mass Effect Andromeda Scott Ryder action figure by McFarlane Toys. Again, didn't go into this with great expectations about the figure. I was definitely surprised, definitely pleased with the amount of articulation it had. Details what I expected from McFarlane. He did not disappoint. Paint job, beautiful. So if you are a Mass Effect fan, you have to get this figure. Even if you're not too keen on Andromeda, this is definitely a great Mass Effect piece. So that being said, if you have any questions, let me know. Please comment, like, subscribe, and share if you feel so inclined. And until next time, we'll talk to you later.